Alright, everyone, welcome back to another stream this week. Yeah, hold on, let me get some stuff set up before I start going in depth, I think.
One climb.
Okay, I think everything should be set up and good. Yep, okay. Yeah, so welcome back to another meeting at the Gaming Roundtable this week. I guess, first of all, I apologize for the late start. I mean, really, to make things short and sweet, I went out and I went to a city that's basically my college, which is like an hour away, and in the area I hung out with some people from my college, only to realize that I had an hour to get back, and I basically got back at 8, so... Oh my gosh, I didn't mean to, but yeah, essentially that's what happened. I'm sorry I couldn't start on time, but we'll definitely make up for it and trying to go through everything. Gosh, there's a lot. Alright, so first of all, Mistcloak Path, Lithic Oath in Cheyun, Grus Serena chapter, which is Xianyun, which I think I'm saying that right. And then we'll get through the characters test run in a few seconds.
Everything's ready.
Currently,
Let's go.
That's not new.
Hello. Nice
That's
to
also
meet
not
you.
new. And obviously we have the new login event. So we'll do the test runs and start with that. But yeah, once again, sorry for being so late. I honestly got back and I didn't have any time to set anything up. So those 30 minutes were basically me getting things around and also being able to grab like a little bit of food before starting. So Farazan will enter the Manifest Gale state after unleashing elemental skill. While in this state, her next fully charged shot will become a Hurricane Arrow, which creates a pressurized collapse effect to the target hit. The effect will burst after a short delay after dealing AoE animo damage and pulling nearby objects and opponents in. Farazan Elemental Burst deploys a dazzling polyhedron that deals AoE animo damage. The polyhedron will continually move along a triangular path, and once it reaches each corner of the triangular path, it'll unleash a whirlwind pulse that decreases the opponent's animo resistance and grant all nearby party members animo damage bonus. And obviously the last one's like elemental orbs will drop and facilitate testing of the characters. So yeah, I used her like once or twice in character trials, but I don't ever use Farazan, so there's that, her first ability. And there is her second, which kind of pulled people in.
I must leave no stone unturned.
Get rid of this one first. Hold on, and get all charged up and then blast. Okay, well I thought it was going to blast. Hold on. I'm not sure how to use the stuff then. Oh, I forgot you use your skill. That decreases all the charges you have on his own. Let's...
Dare to mess with me?
And then this should suck them on, right? Oh yeah, it does. Okay, nice. So Farazan's another... what is it called? Oh my gosh. Crowd control, that's what it's called. I had to think about what the word was for it. Alright, let's use a combo, I guess.
Truth hurts! Confess!
Truth repeats its course.
Okay, well... Once again, I really never used Farazan, so that wasn't too much of an important trial. I will state, though, and I want to state something really cool that they did. They finally added the other trial stages button, so you can just go to the next trial. I will tell you, this is something that honestly I've wanted for so long, but never really thought about, and I'm so glad they finally added it. It's such a wonderful addition, because it just makes life so much easier. And, brief little note, this new character is actually brand new, so Gaming will pounce forward when using his elemental skill, and upon hitting a target, he will leap high into the air. Plunging attacks performed in this state will be converted to plunging attack Charmed Cloud Strider, dealing AoE pyro damage. Elemental Burst will summon the Suani Manchai, I think, to smash into his target, dealing AoE pyro damage and healing Gaming. When Manchai finishes its smash attack, it will move to Gaming's position. When they meet up, the cooldown on Gaming's elemental skill will be reset. During this time, if Gaming's HP is higher than 50%, When he performs plunging attack Charmed Clustrider, he will summon Mon Chai again. I mean, it might sound confusing, but honestly it's relatively easy. You press the skill button, and then you just do a plunging attack. There's not much to it. So you just go forward, boom, boom. Relatively straightforward, but the kit is really interesting, and I think it's kind of fun. You just get to, like, fly in the sky and fly back down. And we will...
Adventure time! Everybody stand and be amazed! Surprise!
So
The
let's
night
just
is cold.
do
Stars
everything at
shine from...
And honestly, Godwing's Fate here actually kind of reminds me of Cynos and how it's like time-based. I gotta...
The feeling's mutual.
Okay, I think we're good. But yeah, it's essentially time-based. Like Cyno, you have to wait a bit, and then like the power-up will appear, and then you have to use it again. It kind of reminds me of that. Which is kind of cool. I honestly like Cyno's kit, so seeing this is kind of fun. And then obviously you just kind of blast them away. So I don't know. It is, for some reason, I really love Godming's kit. It's just such a fun and unique addition. And obviously now we have Nahida. Nahida's elemental skill can deal dentro damage and mark opponents hit with Seed of Sakanda. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that right. That is not happening. Linking them together to one another. When held, the skill can be released after aiming. When you trigger elemental reactions on opponents who are thusly linked together, Nahida will deal dentro damage to the opponents and all connected opponents. Nahida's elemental burst will release Shrine of Maya Field, providing Nahida with specified buffs based on the number of Pyro, Electro, and Hydro characters within the party. And I will let you all know, don't ask me to explain what those buffs are, I have no clue. But I do like this though. You can essentially look all around and then shoot them all at once. Leaves a bunch of Dentro cores behind, and those will explode and just deal a ton of damage.
Nice and spicy!
Oh, well, that stinks. They're just basically exploding.
Let's spark things. I see everything.
Oh, alright. And then we'll summon this. Yeah, it essentially just provides buffs, which... I mean, honestly, I don't notice the difference. I guess you can kind of notice the difference. They're taking a lot more damage than usual, but...
Let's make her a little.
There we go. I will say that the Nahida's elemental burst, though, is kind of cool. Where it just summons, like, a whole sanctuary. Super cool. Alright. After Zwayun uses her elemental skill, she'll enter the cloud transmogrification state, and her elemental skill will be converted to Sky Ladder. That is so very interesting. Which can be used up to 3 times. Allow her to move quickly and can be used mid-air. Wait, what? Wait, use it in mid-air. Honestly, I've used her before, and honestly, I don't... Okay, we're gonna try it, I guess. In the Cloud Transmogrification state, her plunging attack will be converted to Drift Cloud Wave, which deals AoE animo damage, with damage increasing based on the number of times Sky Ladder has been used. Elemental Burst summons Star Wicker, which increases characters' jump height and heals them. When they complete plunging attacks, Adeptal Assistance stacks will be consumed to deal AoE animo damage. When these stacks are available, characters' plunging attack damage will also be increased. That actually sounds like really great skill in the world. Okay, so there's that. Normal attack, very normal. I'm not sure what that's... What it did? Hold on. I want to check the holding again. Okay, can this slime stop following me? Oh, it really is like a ball of wind. Interesting. Alright, let's try this. E. Wait.
Skyward! Scatter!
Okay, I did not do that when I tested her. What is that? Hop, hop, and then... Oh, I'm sorry, that's awesome. What? That is so cool. Honestly, I obviously did not use her right because that's
Skyward,
fantastic.
scatter.
Oh. Not me teleporting straight into a bubble. That is awful. Okay, can you do it once? And then you can do it once, but it isn't as powerful. Okay. Honestly, that'd be a really cool exploration tool, though. You can, like, bound across the plane super fast. Just be like, boing, boing, and then just...
Scatter.
Nah, that's super cool. I didn't know that. And I'm sorry for sticking on Joyun for so long. Honestly, I wanted to try to summon her for a bit. Because she's kind of really cool.
I'm going in!
Let's just...
Up to it, Manzai.
No, my sword! Ring cutter!
Skyward. Seize the skies.
Okay, so... Obviously, your jump height is massively increased. And it's for all characters. So even not me. Wait, I do this. Okay, hold on. I want to try Zwayun's ult and Gaming's thing to see if you can go even higher. Okay, let's try this.
Stray clouds converge.
Can I do it? Can I do it in air, maybe?
Many happy returns.
Oh no, I think I can do it in air or something. No, that stinks. That'd be super cool if you could like go super high with it. Okay, I will say though, I really do like her kit. I didn't know about the whole like bouncing thing. I thought it was just like a single leap and then you just slam it down, but no, that's even cooler. I wasn't even expecting that. Okay, that is for certain. Alright, so obviously Joyun is the new character to summon, along with Nahida. I'll click this just so it gets out of my face. Sure, Crane's a quick call. There you go. So yeah, there's the new characters, and so far that's the only like real event we have right now. The Lantern Rite I think starts... Today's the 4th? I think it starts tomorrow. I'm not sure. The Lantern might start tomorrow or it might start Tuesday. I don't know, but I feel like the 5th is more right. I don't know. It's coming up soon, though, so we'll definitely be able to experience Lantern Rite a lot sooner. Well, a lot sooner than I think, anyways. And yeah, I don't know. No, last time we did the Court of Fontaine, I don't think it was open. So, just to kind of let everybody know, this is the brand new region, which obviously not unlocked. But, yeah, so there's this huge new area now that we can explore sometime later, because obviously we're still doing Fontaine, but I just kind of want to let that to be known, just so we know that there's this area here that we have to explore at some point. For now, I think we're gonna go and continue on with the Archon Quest and keep going forward with that. If we have time, maybe we'll explore the new region at the end of stream, like last time where we were just I was really tired and I didn't want to continue on because that court scene really took it out of me. It was basically just... It wasn't like the same thing over and over, and there was a lot of suspense and like really cool story details, but you can only do so many court cases in a row before you're kind of tired. And by court cases, I mean one. We don't need any more than one. That sounds really bad, though. Saying like, oh yeah, I can only handle one court case a day, just my own. That was a joke, by the way. Just so everyone knows, I don't actually go to court for anything. I haven't done anything. And no, there's not a yet. There's no yet. I'm not doing anything that's going to get me to land in court. Once again, oh gosh, I love this city so much. Like, it's such a weird way of putting everything. The city looks big, but it's actually super duper small. Like, you just look around and you're like, wow. There must be so many people living here, and then you're like, wait, there's like maybe 50 houses in this small area. And like, yeah, 50 houses sounds pretty good, but honestly, for a city this size, I would have thought there'd be a lot more area. But, what have you. Wait, is this... Speaking of housing space... I guess, okay. I don't know, I thought coming from the side, I thought it was like super duper small. I'm like, how are you fitting anything in this house? We're gonna turn that down a tad bit.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Okay, just for story recap, and honestly I'm saying it so that I am confident in the story recap. Obviously after the trial case, we were talking Navia. Navia said that we haven't discovered the full, I don't know if it's like the full depth, but she's essentially talking about the missing persons case. And now that we know that, hey, there's a new detail, people can literally disappear by being touched with this primordial water. And obviously we told her that's not really what we're into. We literally are just trying to find our sibling, which I don't think we told her about the sibling part, but we have our own journey that we need to go on. So she's treating us to lunch, dinner, whatever this is, food.
Worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
When's the last time we ate in a hotel?
In that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Ooh, everything looks so good. People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life.
I feel like we could put
Why,
anything on
of
Paimon's
course.
plate and she'd
Go
eat it.
ahead, try whatever you like.
I don't know why
If the
Paimon's being
food's good,
specific now.
I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
Oh, wow.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
You, sure have your own way of doing things.
Honestly, if that wasn't apparent from our first
called
meeting
this
with
a
her,
farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
yeah, for certain that was worth celebrating. Jeez Louise, we only won because Navia was
Oh,
able
true.
to get it through.
Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Yeah, what?
Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food.
Listen, Paimon will eat everything, but like, I don't know if you keep stuff in her, she might not be able to move.
Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Yeah.
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
Honestly, though, that is kind of
If
weird.
it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Yeah, why? Why
Right?
specifically young
Yeah, it was
women? That's kinda
because
weird.
this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
This is like specific detail
If
that you
only
just
that guy
can't
could have finished
overlook it.
speaking. We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
It's called drama, Paimon, and this game loves to give it to
In
us.
such
Apparently.
investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct.
So she's gonna take
It's
it into
not
her
that I
own
don't
hand.
have faith in their ability. It's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough, which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exist. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Navia's actually kind of got a good
Seems Paimon
perspective.
thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
Well, we wanted to ask the Hydro Archon, and then she put us on trial because she's
That's
wonderful.
We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended.
She probably sulked
Didn't really
off.
seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
She's probably super upset that she lost.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon.
Watch, she has a
I've heard that
connection.
there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Ah, dang it.
Yeah. We've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Yay, we get to wait forever.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
Navia.
That's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. chock full of sketchy ideas.
Yeah, Navia, you better get to where you're
What
going
did you have
quick.
in mind?
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance.
Oh.
I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I don't know about that one.
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
But apparently the Traveler can learn
All right,
anything, so I mean,
here's
who
another.
knows?
Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions.
Navia, how have
I
you
can
not gotten
personally
arrested?
testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
Navia, we need to have a talk.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Yeah, that's like a highway
Ah,
ticket straight to
Valid
prison.
point. I overlooked that part.
Huh?
I was just
What?
thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep.
Me and the Traveler being on the same page, like, what? What do you mean?
All right, no more joking around. Huh. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break.
That could
You
be.
did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
Ooh.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense.
I love the whole it's worth a try, and then the next one just being like, yeah, would someone with their personality really feel shame? I can't disagree with that, so I mean, valid, but we'll go it's worth a
Why
try.
don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Because honestly, I could see
Paimon,
Farina not
did you
feeling
drink
bad.
my Fanta?
Was this your drink?
Oh, nice, Paimon.
Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
Yeah, that's a first.
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
Ew. I don't think drinks are supposed to taste like salt. I don't want
Is that
salt
so?
water.
Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then.
What?
If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
You can just do that?
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia.
Navia just casually being like, yeah, let's just blacklist this item forever being sold. Don't worry about it, guys. Like, Navia, how much power do you have in this city?
Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore.
You could try walking, you know.
Nah, that would be so normal. You know, like you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with...
Hey, Navia,
Navia?
what are you doing over there?
What do you mean expenses?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Yeah, that was probably pricey.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
Whoops.
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your requests the highest priority.
No, heck yeah. That's what getting
In
having
any
friends in high
case,
places gets you.
I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
I don't know what it is, but I love I love her calling us partner. It's just such a weird, like, you just see a high class lady and they're just like, hey, partner. It just feels weird. But honestly, now that I think about it, it's about par for course for Navia, so I mean, really, what was I expecting? Navia has like the dressing class of like a high lady, but then turns around and has like the attitude of someone you just meet on the street. Which honestly is probably why she is so good at her job, is because she's able to connect with people. You know, one would assume if you could connect to the common folk, you could be liked by the common folk. That would be just a wild assumption, apparently. great.
There aren't many people around anymore.
Is a fountain gonna talk to us?
That boat we took to Araneas might have been the last one.
Vache.
Oh yay! Look, the fountain's talking to us again.
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices again?
Yay! I love hearing voices.
Ugh. That's kind of spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
Vache. Vache.
You talking to me?
Why are you still walking towards it? There might be something nasty in the water.
I can feel strong emotions. Man, my eyes are starting to get blurry. That's not good.
Huh? Hang on. Paimon can kind of hear a voice. It's calling for Vache, right?
How can you hear it?
Hey, traveler! Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Uh-oh. That ain't good. Yeah, literally my question. Oceanad, what in the world?
Vache. Are you my dear Vache?
No.
No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is?
No, but I'd like to know who you are.
Wait. Who am I?
I asked you that question
I'm
first.
very sorry. I fear I do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered.
Oh, well that's
How
awful.
much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten?
Oh, great. Gio's human. That's
Yes,
awesome.
that is what I was once. But now,
Say now you're an Oceanad. That's
I am but the
awesome.
consciousness of one who is lost, therefore.
So, are all Oceanads made from lost humans who just don't have their memories? I'm more looking at the one from Liyue that just attacks us for no reason.
I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water, and then all grew dim.
So that's great. One of the serial
I
disappearances.
also remember going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril. No matter where I went, Vache would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me, and I also loved him equally as much. But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting. I never knew how heavy it could be.
Man, I wanted to play Genshin Impact, not getting hurt my feelings.
No,
Darn it.
our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories. The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten beneath the waters.
But why do they remember Vache,
If you
but
meet
that's
Vache,
it?
tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. That is the only thing I still remember.
Yeah, that is weird. Why she only remembers Vache, but no one else.
Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness, I saw Vache above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing. If only I could have comforted him, told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a great warmth.
Now say, gosh, I hate to say it, but Vache is probably our
Is that
next
what you
lead.
call it? Dissolving. If anything, I consider it a form of release. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety.
That is a very interesting way of seeing things. It seems that after the body is dissolved, some member of the consciousness still remains.
I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think.
Yeah, I don't hear her. I really don't hear her.
Farewell, then. I am glad that you were able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see Vacher, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
I mean, it stinks, but understood. Uh-oh. Cutscene, that's never good.
Come on, hurry! Navia's outnumbered!
I'm sorry, what's going on?
Demoiselle, look out!
Okay, so that's not good.
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex.
Oh.
Clorand?
Uh-oh. Oh, geesh. Well, I'll hope that she's on our side. That's all I'm gonna hope for.
Quick, now's our chance!
Jeez Louise. Clarence's kind of blind. Wow. That is awesome. Honestly, I know people have probably forgotten about it, but this
I
is
should
why I'm
thank
so
you for
hyped
lending us your
for the
sword
Genshin
there,
anime that
Clorand.
comes out soon. This is why I'm
But
hyped
before I
right
do
here.
so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
Because you know that they can
I-
actually make good animations.
Followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
I mean,
Mr.
perhaps.
Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same, were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father!
Oh,
Sorry,
boy.
Demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever.
Something happened here.
What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with the Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these
Apparently
mecha
not.
have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law. I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
Oh, great.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes, be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true
I'm
last
glad
wish.
Navi is being chased after some rich person with a whole
Regardless,
army of Gardamex.
Thank you for your help today, Clorand.
That's
But
not terrifying
if
at
you get any
all.
ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, all.
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
That you're being
Demoiselle,
chased?
I believe
That's good
that
news?
Miss Clorand was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, she's...
Yeah, what in the world?
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for!
I'm glad Navia stepped in, or else we were
Those
hosed.
Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us!
But how did she know we were going to be attacked? It's a bit weird.
Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorand who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
I'm sorry for the chair, by the way.
Oh,
But yeah, gosh.
come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast. As such,
Okay.
we're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
I still want to know how
It
you knew
will
to save
take
us.
50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
Oh,
If it
shush.
were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Navia,
I love
how
the
did you
I love
know
the
that we
suck
were in
up. That's
danger?
great.
You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Thank you, Paimon.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow? Cool, Paimon's even more amazing than she thought!
Not even knowing how she
Yes.
helped.
All thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
Huh?
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky.
Uh-oh. Don't tell me.
Fanta only comes in sweet flavors. So how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
And it was her drink.
Yes. So if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Oh, boy.
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
We didn't even do it on purpose, though.
Really?
Unfortunately, Paimon, neither of us for Fontaine, because that would have been bad.
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate, but whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger, and hurried here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his name.
We
Now
also
we're caught up in this mess too, aren't
we also caught someone who's
Well,
in the serial
You did
disappearance
foil a
case.
plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process.
Yep. So, like I
Speaking
said,
of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
Well, it can't be coincidence that the traveler fainted
Oh.
just now. She said that she heard that voice calling for Vache again.
maybe it increased
Oh,
our
and
hydro
this time
affinity.
Paimon heard it too, but it was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial seawater then?
According to Lynette, the ability to hear voices like that has to do with one sensitivity to the hydro element. So maybe the primordial water basically like spiked our senses or something.
Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity
Gosh dang
to
it.
hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
I said it first though, so I
That
think
doesn't
I'm
sound
better.
like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
Also gained some new intel
New intel? While you were out cold?
because we're just that awesome.
Well, let's hear it, shall we?
The voice from the fountain belonged to a woman, one of the missing women. A person named Vache was a witness when she dissolved.
Oh, that is important.
Tell everyone what happened while you were connected to the Oceanad's consciousness.
Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately.
Maybe
Since he
he's
saw that
not
young
in
woman
Fontaine
dissolve,
anymore.
He was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened?
We'll see,
Yes,
but
thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate.
by we you mean us too, right? Nah, at this point we're kind of involved.
Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
We kind of have
Well,
to.
you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right?
And we were basically
And
threatened,
besides,
so...
we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
Messing with us will cost them. What's scary is if it was anyone but the Traveler, I wouldn't believe them. But honestly, the Traveler, yeah, I could see it.
Demoiselle,
Traveler's
do
kinda
try
scary.
not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
Well, she wants to hang out.
Come, you talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you. We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
Well, that's great. Where's the base at? That's the bigger question. Oh, it's back in Fontaine? Okay, interesting. It's over here? And once again, I know where we're going, but honestly, it doesn't make it any better. Knowing that, we go here.
With the wind.
Oh, I apparently have to touch this. There we go. I didn't realize
It's
I
right
had to
up
touch
ahead.
it.
But let's make sure we weren't followed first.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Go Silver.
Very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue, Traveler.
Well, I mean, good on them. They're fast. But yeah, like I said, it doesn't make it any better knowing that we're going straight into the basic sewers. Doesn't make it any better to know. And well, now we're down. Is there no? No, there's no teleport point. We just gotta walk all the way to the city first. And yeah, spoiler alert, there's a city. Is there a chest over here? No, okay, I thought there was a chest. I was like so ready to grab it. Is there one over there? Does seem like it. But yeah, like I said, there's a whole city. Can I grab this before it? Yep, here we are. It's called the land of corroded shadows and tainted currents. Or you can just call it the underworld because I think that's more cool. Honestly, I do like the place though. Even though it's basically all like scrap metal and stuff, it's super cool. And honestly, it might even be because it's scrap metal that I like it so much. There we go. Grab that little book. Nope. Hello.
So, this is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
I mean, you
Your
gotta put the...
accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Yeah, honestly, did kind of let down expectations.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately.
Ooh.
After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
I gotta admit, that's
Seems
pretty
like
impressive.
It's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
They probably
Your
liked him
father.
more because he
He
knew
was
everybody.
the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right? How did he...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners, this is something I hope they can understand.
No.
My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh no.
But I I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up.
I mean,
At the time, I believed
I
that
would
if he
think
only
so.
stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that.
I don't blame
How could
you.
he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like it might be a bit rude to ask, do you have any clues? So, we'll just agree with her.
The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
So that's why she's
That's why
continuing
you're
it.
so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records. However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something. I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the truth.
Poor Navia. Has so much on her
If only he'd been more
shoulders.
open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me. And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
Aww. For the sake of your family, you know we're quite alike in that regard.
Demoiselle, please. If there is anything I can do, anything at all,
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. There are none whom I respect more than the two of you, Demoiselle.
Aww.
Master Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful.
That is kind of
Even our
annoying
supporters
and
decreased
dumb.
greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that.
Yeah, I don't like that.
People love watching the
I think
evil
it's kinda
turn over a
dumb.
new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
But how could... never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him.
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel was Ms. Clorand.
And the pieces start to click.
Well, then, isn't that as good as saying that she was the one who killed him?
No wonder the mood was a little strange between the two of you. Which, yep, does explain a lot. Oh, hello, click. There you
Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
go. Yeah.
Ms. Clorand
Navia's
has
idea-
always
attitude
placed
makes
great
a bit more
emphasis on
sense.
the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not
Gosh.
that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
Don't worry, Navia. Paimon knows how you feel. You don't have to force yourself to do that.
Afterward, Ms. Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety.
Then that indicates that he intended to die in that duel. Which, once again, doesn't make any
Yes,
sense.
that is our understanding as well.
That just seems a bit
Oh, Papa.
suspicious.
What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right, anyway.
It sounds almost
that's the
desperate in a
information I
sense.
wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end.
No, it's alright. I understand how important this is to you. Which I wonder why.
Thanks. You two should go and rest. This was quite a day after all.
Yeah. Paimon's feet.
please. Relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like how one little thing made them turn against him. Callus didn't deserve that anyway. Peaceful night passes under the Spina de Rosula's protection.
Paimon slept so well. This place feels almost too safe.
Don't let your guard down yet.
Navia? Where did the other two go?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back.
Maybe.
But never mind that. When did you get back? Were you waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday regarding the name Vache.
Has she slept at all?
So you didn't sleep at all?
Gosh dang it, Paimon.
How could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone just now, huh?
Unfortunately, this
I mean,
name
you're speaking
seems to
for
have
me,
been wiped from
apparently.
existence. It doesn't seem to have a match anywhere. I
What?
suspect that those behind this have already taken steps to hinder an investigation from this angle. But that does prove that this Vache person is a key witness in the incident.
That or he changed his name, which
That
doesn't
moment
help.
too late, though?
No. There is one ray of hope. One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible to threaten, no matter how much they wanted to.
Ooh?
And that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette. A place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept. If the Ocean that you met is one of the young women who went missing recently, we should be able to find some related information there.
But is Neuvillette really just gonna let us walk in and take
So
a file?
Neuvillette maintains an archive of case files? Whew. Guess that's the hard-working Chief Justice for you. In that case, let's go talk to him, shall we?
Oh, does she got beef
Aren't
with
you
him too?
coming along, Navia? Did you get tired?
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable Chief Justice.
Oh goodness. I feel like Navia's got something with Neuvillette too, which won't make life easy at all. Oh, that is the bag, not the. I was trying to track the location better. Statue of the 7 teleport. There you go.
The Palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Yeah, I wonder what's up between Neuvillette and Navia now. Because obviously there's something. Just what the something is, though, is the bigger question.
Halt!
Guess we're just gonna
Please,
walk
your
right in.
business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters.
Huh. This place does look pretty heavily guarded. Guess that proves that Neuvillette's files are really secure.
You probably
Hey,
shouldn't be saying that out
Don't
loud.
you recognize us?
I say, how do you not?
Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be related to. Our rules make no exceptions.
Yeah, so I'm the traveler across
They've
Tibet.
got great discipline, too.
Yep. Paimon can tell.
If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy, so please leave if you don't have a reason to be here.
No,
A little
no.
snippy, aren't
What
ya?
I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Linny.
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorneys. It's all coming back to me now.
We're here
Nah.
today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Huh. Is that even a thing?
Yes, it is. Leave us alone.
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
Yeah, 100%. Don't
Right
worry
then,
about it.
I'll let you through. The Chief Justice is just inside.
Sure.
Thanks so much.
Didn't even question it. Just said walk right in. But don't worry, guys. They're secure.
Please come in.
Oh. I was worried he was going to let us in. Didn't even look up until we're halfway across the room.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Nervalet. We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
Got a point
It's
there.
all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you're not mad at us?
We're looking
Doesn't
for a
seem
man
like it.
called Vacher. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
Gosh, I hope he has them. Otherwise, it's another dead end.
Who knew that Nervalet would be so easy to talk to?
I mean, he's not he's not antisocial. He just doesn't talk much. I mean, really, though, he doesn't have a reason to talk much.
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vacher has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years.
What?
There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Well, that's not good at all.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
Is that so? All right, then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
Ahem.
Oh?
Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
Oh. Is she mad at him for probably being
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Oh, jeez.
Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt like you should.
No, that's just not nice.
It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort.
Oh,
You
no.
even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel? Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die, despised and hated by all? Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything.
Oh my god.
There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly
Dang.
alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone.
Poor Neuvillette, though. I mean, there's not much she could have
It's
done
not so
there.
much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice.
Oh,
My
jeez.
apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, that was rough. I don't think everybody deserves what they're getting from her, but unfortunately, Navia's just... I mean, honestly, I can't blame her. She's heartbroken. She's torn up. really nothing you can say about it.
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Yeah, no, that's a lie.
Rain. It's raining.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there shouldn't be any active trials today. How strange.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
Oh, that's interesting.
What is it? Did you think of something?
Your father's case, was it outside when it happened?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene?
Uh-oh.
That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value.
Was something you didn't know at the time.
Oh? Wait. You don't mean...
The fact that people can be turned into
You're
water.
saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water? And then got washed away with the rain? Yeah.
That would
And
make
if
a lot of
that's what
sense.
had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. You're completely right. How did I not connect the dots earlier?
I mean,
All right.
you
Let's
were
go to
a
Poisson.
bit of an
With
emotional
this new
mess
lead in
earlier,
mind,
honestly.
We'll get to the bottom of my father's case for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna make progress for sure this time.
Now that we have
Do
new
you want to
info.
go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later?
Should go while the idea is still fresh.
Great. Let's go then.
Essentially, it'll just teleport us there. At least it should anyways. I do like that, though, that it doesn't force you to get teleported. It basically asks you in game form. So instead of being like, do you want to travel there now? It's like the character asking you if you wanted to go there. And for those who don't remember, this is actually the Spina di Rosula's like home base.
Huh?
The other place in like the sewers was kind of like a, I don't really know what to call it. It's like an underground city or something, but this is like their true headquarters. Where dark tides echoed. Which is really cool that there's just a ship underground.
Whoa, what a huge ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
Good question.
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters.
Fairly competent, that's
My
a
father
ship.
was the one who asked for it
Fairly
to be built
competent.
like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
Alright, fair enough. I think I'm starting to get why you like it.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past.
I mean,
Paimon was
true.
confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Yeah, see, they're a pretty big underground area. Or
Poisson is
underground,
where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base, our home.
underground order. Or underground organization. There you go. I was trying to find the word. I was like, order is not the right one.
With the wind.
I do like it, though. It's so interesting having, like, a ship underground and that be your base. It's, like, such a bizarre and weird design feature. But, you know, obviously, strangely enough, it works for Navia and her family. There's even, like, areas down here. Granted, there's probably nothing to collect those waters, but it's kind of cool that it's there. Climb up all these bits of scrap metal. Was there a... Hold on, I want to go get this hydroculus real fast. Since it's like right here. Is it... It's probably up here at the top of it, right? Nope, nope, up. Climb. Yeah, there you go, I was right. Cool. And now we can talk to Malus.
Malus, we're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners. You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
No, not much.
About that. It's
Besides
because
a
my
break
partner
for
here
her.
reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember, right, Malus? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
Could the mastermind be the same person?
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity in Poisson. At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many pleasant hallucinations.
Oh no.
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion?
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that synth is created using water from the primordial sea.
So just
if
a
you
little
drink
bit
synth for an
can
extended
be
amount of
good.
time, you'll suffer many
Well, not
side
good,
effects,
but you know what I mean.
such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions. And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything. It's an extremely
Yikes.
dangerous substance. As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a stop to synth abuse and called for a complete ban of it.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused to yield.
Yeah, so that
Not
had
only
enough
that,
reason.
Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation and put an end to the problem once and for all.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation. Recognizing that,
Darn it.
my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. Finally, he was able to convince someone to become his informant. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food.
No.
But then,
That's a
we heard
tragedy.
2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at all. Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the scene.
Well, not only that, how many times was the friend
Precisely.
friend
It's
shot?
all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet. But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired.
Yep, there you go. Your father got into an argument with Jacques, but it's also possible the third person was to blame.
You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out. I'm finally headed towards the truth.
Go
Jacques
Navia.
was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with 0 warning. I think this third person is probably the key to the full truth.
Nah, saying who
On
was
that
that?
note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as you're and your father's butler, I must still offer a word of warning. Our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes to step back and give up on the case.
He's
If
got a
that's
point, though.
indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself.
Oh.
Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end? Synth
Poor
is
Navi is
still
probably
here.
super bitter.
Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly? I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that day, and certainly not now. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly, Demoiselle, I think you're also ready to take this on.
I think Navi's committed
So
to
you
the,
do know something else, Malus.
committed to it now.
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between Synth and the serial disappearances case.
Malus knew about
But
this
what
whole
drove
time?
all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, Demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
Oh no.
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live. And the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety.
Well, yeah,
5
considering
years
his
was
daughter was
nowhere
next.
near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. But once he passed away, all the danger would pass on to you.
And he was trying to
Knowing
protect
all
her.
of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina di Rosula about the details. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right.
That was
So nobody
that
would
was
be able
smart.
to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic
Her
has
father was
worked.
intelligent.
Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
No. I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss.
Oh.
To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful was still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
He loved his daughter so
So he
much.
chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, Demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol, but a sword. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
Go
That
Malus.
fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight? No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now?
Yeah. Go Traveler for setting it straight. Having the choice to live the way you wanted to.
I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where synth is produced. Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters.
He knew that the
When
whole
he was
time?
threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
Oh yeah, because that'll work.
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in operation for decades. There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside, nor what people we may be able to capture. But a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war.
This is
The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Then, in that case, why not work with the Fontaine authorities?
Yeah, I don't think that's
Well,
how
you
it's gonna
saw
work.
one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
Yeah.
That's true. Seems my father really had no choice. But things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side's guilt, now that we've connected Synth with the disappearances case.
Mm-hmm.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into
That's
this.
another
Luis.
hosed.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss and Demoiselle's will. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigations, and waiting for the right time to come.
Well, obviously
Thank
this
you
is now.
for all of that, Malus. Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Let me think. One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here.
Yeah, great. We got a mole.
When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe the reactions of the synth vendors. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news. After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people.
Dang,
The
Malus.
first is Florent, Spina di Rosula's senior advisor.
Malus is impressive.
Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well. Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans and could thus avoid capture this whole time.
Yeah.
There's someone else
He's
like
fair.
him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
Yeah, good question. Comfort. What is
It's
that?
a guild in Poisson. Boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around with a lot of business connections in the city.
So, they're like a sister organization of Spina di Rosula?
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, they provided us with plenty of support. It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities. Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see.
So we
These
got
are
3 people.
all people who I communicate with quite regularly.
Oh, great.
To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most. It's almost too hard to believe.
Ooh, Navia ain't
If
gonna
you
like
want to
that.
investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Of course. And thank you, Malus. You've provided us with a lot of great information.
You're too kind, my lady. I'm just doing my duty. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. They still live in Poisson today. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
That might be an awkward conversation.
Thank you so much, Malus. You really are the best.
Malus is just
A
wild.
new case awaits, my dear partner.
Oh yeah,
I
another
hope
case.
we can work together to uncover the truth and end this case once and for all.
Yep, saw that one coming. Callus's case records. 3 years ago on a rainy night, banquet goers heard 2 gunshots outside the house. When they reached the scene, Callus had a gun in his hand, and Jacques has been... Sorry, Jacques. Is it Jacques? I think it's Jacques. I don't know. Something like that. Had been shot and slain. Based on the investigations done then, there was no possibility that anyone else could have done the deed and escaped, and Callus was thus adjudged to have been the culprit. And now, we have 3 people to talk to. Starting with his family. That's gonna be rough. Surely they don't blame Spina de Rosula for, you know, killing their father / husband. No way.
It is settled then. Please excuse me, and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
I think someone's upset.
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
Yeah, no, let's,
I'm
might be a
sorry
bit awkward.
that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the 2 of you.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
Okay, that's...
I didn't know how to face you. Because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you. And to all of us.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that little kid's kind of
I
nasty.
appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt.
I mean, granted,
On
it
the
makes
matter
sense why
regarding
she's
my
mad,
husband,
but...
My daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
Believe me, I think
always knew
everyone
that my
does.
husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callus came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out about his betrayal?
Yeah, that's not
Papa
good.
didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the 2 of us.
Does that mean someone ordered Jacques to take out Callus?
I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to.
Oh, jeez.
Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callus had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
Oh,
But
darn
Mama,
it.
why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah. Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons. Regardless of whether he left you a
He
parasol
was probably doing it for
or
them.
a sword. He must have done so to give you a better life.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
I mean, it's not that hard to see. Oh gosh, Navi's determination is like second to none. Testimony from Jacques' family. Jacques' family believed that he had struggled greatly with the order to kill Callus. Did Callus act in self-defense, or was there more to the incident? I mean, honestly,
Are
though...
you okay, Navia?
Oh,
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Florent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way, so please don't worry.
I will admit this is very impressive for a family that was grieving to objectively think about something like that.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
Jacques definitely didn't
I'm sure
deserve
you've
any
heard
of that.
about what happened at the Opera House? Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
Ah, great.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside, and we found some clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Ooh, look at that.
Let me think. Mr. Callus was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table.
Okay.
After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callus's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callus was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense,
Reason
because you'd
being,
find the other bullet.
Mr. Callus had left his gun on the table.
Oh?
I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned, do you think there was a third person there who was turned into water?
I mean, that's why we brought it back up.
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him.
She's got a point.
The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callus ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys? But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us?
It's probably because
He
Navi
didn't
was
even
threatened.
want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel.
Once again,
Did he
Navia.
lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that, Malus told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then I'll leave Mr. Callus's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callus the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callus's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today. No matter what others might say, he'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
I mean, gosh, I want to hope it's not him, but I mean, who knows? Information regarding Florent. Florent, the advisor to Spina di Rosula, claimed that he was very grateful to Callus for his kindness. He was also present at the banquet on the day of the case and can provide evidence that Callus did not carry a gun with him when he went out. Alright, now we have to walk to go all the way back to Fontaine, so we're going to teleport back for that one. Oh, look. Right there. Thank you. Makes life easier.
Thierry! It's me!
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've caught news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the Guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Well, did you?
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson. Callus did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rosula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city.
Yeah, that doesn't make you sound good, dude.
Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Yes. These two are my partners. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it. If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Oh.
Of course.
Hold on, she's asking about that.
Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Now we're asking.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city.
Ow.
So,
Definitely just
if
hit my
you
elbow on the desk.
hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do was get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Nudge to make quick, haha, so funny. Did you do it?
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage.
Okay.
If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret. So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units.
Well, at least he's honest.
They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable enough to afford this.
I mean, true.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
How? What? How can she say that?
Oh, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation.
I don't know how
I'll
she
be
can
staying
just
in
say
the city
that,
for
though.
a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Well, because they said they had to be rich or something, and he's not rich. First of all, ouch, but second of all, okay. Information regarding Thierry. Thierry is the person responsible for official contact between Spina de Ursula and the guards. According to him, only the sufficiently rich can privately own a large number of Gardamex. Great. I love how we basically just shut down the fact that he could be the one since he's a guard and guards, I guess, don't make money. That was nice. Granted, I guess it got him out of suspicion, so that's cool, but doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Well, where's he at? That's not good.
Hello. How may I help you? I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him.
Sure. I will let him know right away.
I love how Navia's name is just a get away and do anything you want card. Waiting for a while, Marcel arrives in a hurry.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery?
Oh, that's not
I also
good.
witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive.
Yeah, we're just
to beat
that
the
good.
Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Heck yeah.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Paimon's real for that answer,
Apologies.
actually.
It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea.
If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Vigilance.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
We totally weren't even
Alas,
trying to protect
it seems
Navia.
things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory.
Ah, great.
The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
A gunshot?
Oh,
Just one.
It's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more. See if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
Suspicious.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
Yeah, that's a bit suspicious. Only hearing one gunshot. Okay. Information regarding Marcel. Marcel's the leader of the Confrérie of Cabrières. Did I really just say it? You know what, I'm gonna keep going because I think I said that right. And I'm not gonna even think about it. And was the organizer of the banquet years prior. The Confrérie in the Spina de Ursula.
Silly churl, Billy churl, silly Billy, hilly churl. Ooh.
We done, Hu Tao? Are we done? Thank you. Okay, cool. Let me keep reading. Comforter and the Spina de Rusula have always maintained a close working relationship. Though his recollection of the events of the case is quite foggy, he's willing to defend Navia. Yeah, I still don't like how he said only one gunshot. I don't like that. Too suspicious. And he's probably got money, so there goes the Gardamex.
We've talked to all 3 suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
Yeah, none of them really stood out as a suspect.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years. Anyway,
also true.
Even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
But where should we start?
Jacques' motive.
Ah, you're right! Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance. That makes sense.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
If I was Jacques, I wouldn't have fired a shot at all. This is true, though.
Oh? And why is that?
Could he guarantee his safety after killing Callus? Which, I mean, technically it's his family's safety after, yeah.
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the order and seek protection from my father.
I mean, that's how I would see it too. And the
Makes
third
sense.
person obviously
But without
messed
evidence,
everything up.
That's still just a theory. Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the 3 suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
I mean, theory, like Navia said, doesn't make sense because the Gardamex require money. Floren, I don't remember what Floren does, but it sounds like he's just a major guy at the meetings. Marcel sounds like he has money, so I'm thinking Marcel, but, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Who knows?
Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him. And they worked together on a large number of projects. Maybe that's how he got to know Jacques. And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex.
Like I was thinking.
Still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of mora and energy to fight his own synth business?
I mean, okay, then we can try someone else. Let's go Thierry.
Thierry, you say?
I'm sorry, Thierry. There you go, Thierry.
It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use. But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think he'd be able to keep that kind of tampering under wraps.
Yeah. Had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with a simple check of the guard's inventory.
This is true.
If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how that happened.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so is it Floren? Because this is about the only other option.
It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus had the best chance of learning about his dealings with Jacques. But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security, so he shouldn't have much means when it comes to finances.
And so you're telling me all my answers
So
are
you're
wrong.
saying he's too broke to afford a mecha army?
Okay, so I'm just wrong on all
Exactly.
fronts.
He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a whole group so quickly. Who could it be?
I think... Ooh, here we go. Most reasonable evidence. Alright, so Florent, Thierry, and Marcel. Okay, this is irrelevant. I'm just looking at all the information we have. Florent, advisor to Spina Ursula, claimed he's very grateful to Callus for his kindness. Also present at the banquet on the day of the case, he provided evidence that Callus did not carry a gun. Thierry, person responsible for official contact between Spina Ursula and the guards. According to him, only the sufficiently rich can privately own large numbers of mecha. Leader of Confrérie of Caballeriere and is the organizer of banquets. Confrérie and Spina Ursula maintain a close working relationship, though his recollections of the events of the case is quite foggy, willing to defend Navia. I mean, once again, I'm going to double down on Marcel, because I feel with a burning passion it's Marcel. You have the money to do it and everything, so I refuse to say anything else.
You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
This is true, but still.
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the three, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight.
Intellect and foresight to make a business, maybe?
Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
He is someone who's very close to you, after all, which... yeah, that probably would hurt anybody.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
The synth production base.
Yes. Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. But we don't have any other options right now.
True. We kind of don't.
We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Uh-oh.
Aren't
That's
you the guy
never a
from
good
the
thing.
guards? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left.
Uh-oh.
We've got another trial on our hands.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
I'm sorry, what? Huh? What did he do?
What? Is that someone you know?
We have a lot of connections. Don't ask questions.
We know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. It's absurd, don't you think?
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
Yeah, that makes zero sense.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
He's got a point.
Right.
That's not good.
Because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And it'll be a lot harder then to clear Mr. Callus's name.
I understand. Well, partner, what do you think we should do? We still haven't found any conclusive evidence.
Yeah, I think Navia should go and defend Child.
Split up? What do you mean?
You can go to Irenaeus while I go investigate that place. I'm confident in my combat abilities.
Just as expected of my partner.
And plus, if Navia
Since
walks
this
in,
is
she'll be a
trial
lot more
about
dangerous
the
than we
serial
are.
disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be focused on Irenaeus, leaving his home base wide open. You're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time and hand the decisive evidence to me.
All right, let's do it.
We'll help you, just like you helped us in Lenny's trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
No, they always are.
Malou, Silver, when did you two get here?
They probably have been with us the whole time.
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our assistance. It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Arrhenius. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
See you then!
Suspect analysis. Combining the information regarding the Gardamex and the investigation results so far, it can be concluded that there's only one person who can have a large number of Gardamex in his possession and run the synth business without leaving traces. This person is none other than Marcel. But obviously we have zero proof to that claim. So, fun.
Now that Navia has set out for Arrhenius, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over.
Where are we going? Oh my goodness.
Huh. According to Malusa's info, the synth production base is underwater.
Oh, there we go.
Let's go and try to find the entrance.
You gotta use Hydro on those to collect their flowers, which is great. Oh, there's like a stingray or whatever there. Grab this real fast. Oh wait, it's a new... Oh, Xenochromatic Hunter Ray's ability. Released Fontaine water blades are long and sharp. Hold and aim to release. Uses ability to cut the weak sections of the Fontaine seagrass and destroy them. So that thing right there, essentially. Real fast, I'm gonna click on it just to kind of show you what it does. You're gonna go down and you... Nope, there's a secret base right there. Oops.
Finally found it! Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. It sure doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all.
Yeah, it's probably hidden. No.
You're right. An important place like this is bound to have a ton of protective measures and mechanisms. Navia's probably arguing up a storm right now to stall for us.
Meanwhile, inside the Opera Epiclese, which I'm sure she just barged in and started yelling, which... about par for course, Navia.
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of.
Yeah, that is kind of dumb.
I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right?
Oh, geez.
In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Darn it, child.
Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be looking for fights.
That's child for you.
Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
Oh, jeez.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas,
Child
it would
is
appear
wild.
that communication with the defendant is going poorly, and we have made very little progress.
Jeez, we don't even need to stop
In that
it.
case,
Child will
let
stall.
me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
Which no one is explaining to him.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong man.
Huh? What's going on?
Uh-oh.
Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbingers.
Yeah,
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness. But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your interjections.
But that's how Navia rolls. Let her go.
Please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics?
Ooh.
We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default, correct?
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway, so I'll take you up on that offer. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge instead?
That person is...
We already... Oh my gosh. Why do we have to do it again? We already said it was Marcel. I guess let's do the suspect analysis, since that makes a bit more sense. But yeah, we already know it's Marcel. We've been talking about this.
Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Huh? What confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Yeah, be quiet. Let me
is
let
this
me
going to be a
accuse.
friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated with it. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this, do you still wish to charge this man?
Yes, I do.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court. Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial.
Imagine just sitting at home. Oh, hold. After some time, a shocked and confused Marcel is brought to the stands.
Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I still haven't figured out what's going on.
Imagine sitting at home and
I
the
think an
guards
attorney won't be necessary.
Guards
This is
just come
probably
up
just
and
a
basically say, hey,
misunderstanding between
you're on
me and
trial.
Navia.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your charges.
That'd be
I
wild.
would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Go,
Navia.
Navia.
Do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun.
2 guns.
If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm struggling to remember some details of that
Thank
case.
you, Farina, for being completely
Exactly correct,
confused
Your Honor.
and helping us with
I
time.
must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage.
Fair enough. Neuvillette and Navia.
On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard.
2 gunshots, Marcel.
When the guests
2.
arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot wound.
And nobody else thought it suspicious that it was a gunshot wound.
The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life.
And see, I don't get that. If they knew the shot missed, wouldn't they have been able to find the bullet somewhere? That's what bothers me. Because, the bullet just doesn't disappear.
The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through a duel.
And he, didn't make it.
Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarand in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries. These are the known facts about the case.
Well, known facts as you have it so far.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no reason to pull the trigger. In truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces of him from the scene.
Oh boy, that's a lot.
Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion appeared quite sensible to us at the time.
Keep stalling, Navia, you
However,
got this.
we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the primordial sea.
Go Navia. Okay. Day of the murder, Spina de Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Comfrey of Cabriere. You don't fight that. There's nothing there to fight. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from a courtyard. According to the investigations, Callus, who had a motive to kill, murdered Jacques for his betrayal. But is that really true? We'll come back to that, actually. Because technically that's correct. But I don't know if we're adding to the fact that Jacques says that there's only 1 gunshot, so we'll see. Guests arrived at the scene. They found a primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun while his acquaintance Jacques lay dead from a gunshot wound. Based on the investigations done, there is no possibility that anyone else could have done the deed and escaped, and Callus was thus adjudged to have been the culprit. After conducting a reinvestigation, it is now certain that Callus did not bring a gun with him. Moreover, details of this case point towards the possible existence of a third person. Let's talk about the whole did not carry a gun with him. I think that should be right. Okay.
Something's not...
Well, it literally told us to click that, so that's fine. Self-defense, more to the act. Maybe the Callus act in self-defense? Okay, well, we'll go on to the next point, actually. Reconstruction of events. The guards' investigation did not recover every other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. The deduction is based on the circumstance where there is no third person, but it turns out there's a method that can clearly cover up the killer's tracks. So are we allowed to use primordial seawater here, or... Cool.
A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But now, it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene, and that they were turned into water after committing the murder. Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice.
Okay, so there's one. The suspect did not dispute his conclusion, also declined to defend himself in court, and said he chose to prove his innocence through a duel. So first 2 are last one and the first one are correct. Hearing 2 gunshots. Okay, I don't think that's it. Callus acted in self-defense, or was there more to the incident? I don't think that's right. And I don't think the clothing goes here either. I think... Is it to carry the gun, maybe? I'm not sure. We'll see. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Well, let's do this last point. Or this middle point. So what does it say? Guards arrived at the scene. Suspect holding a gun. No other investigation. It was Callus. Reinvestigation. Callus did not bring a gun. The details point to the possible existence of a third person. Is it this one with the clothing? It is with...
This
okay, so it's the clothing.
First shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead.
Okay, so this one probably is the last point, maybe? Yeah, okay, so it has to be this one. Heard 2 gunshots. Callus had a motive to kill. Oh. Yeah, Callus didn't have a motive to kill. It was more Jacques who's trying to destroy Callus.
The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. However, in the end he reconsidered, and instead shared everything with Callus, hoping to seek the latter's protection. Unfortunately for Jacques,
the true culprit had already considered this possibility and had sent out another assassin.
There we go.
Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
Dang. He still can't get over it, though. That's tough. Successful refutation. Or refutation? I don't know. One of those words.
Ah, so that's what happened.
It's probably refutation since it's like
You're
refute.
telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
I mean, technically,
What a great
yeah.
theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Yeah, keep agreeing, Marcel.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your innocence.
Nuvalet being like, bro, you're
but
dumb.
I think
Come
I agree
on.
with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Now just wait. There's more.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine two things.
Okay, now hold on, Farina, be quiet.
One, do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
I'm afraid not.
Ooh,
At
that's
least not
good.
at this very moment.
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just go home.
Okay, well maybe
I may
you
not have the
should go
evidence
home.
with me, but I know where I could go to collect it.
We got
If we look
hecklers.
up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find a match. Considering
Good
the
point.
serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Uh-oh.
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
She's probably still
Maybe
upset.
she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
That is exactly what I was
Alternatively,
thinking.
she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen in the last trial.
Yep.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you described, then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been dissolved, he could have at least mounted a defense.
I've thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case.
Alright, chair's about to make
My
noise. Hold
father
on.
could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave.
Sorry.
At that time,
The chair's so
Spina
loud.
di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
And so he chooses to go to the grave instead of
If
sacrificing
the
her.
secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right.
But it would have been too late.
But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone?
Ooh.
Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist. But by staying silent, we retain the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate.
Nice stabbing
I
at
was
the
able
court
to become
system.
Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot, and restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
Go Navia.
So, you mean to say, your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
That is what she
That's
said.
right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clarand.
Ooh.
I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
This is true.
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callus was intending to die?
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives. In my line of work, I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined, others passionate, and some even manic and twisted. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die.
But
I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
thank you, Clarand.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
We're getting there,
Right?
kind of.
What she said was fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Whoops.
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified.
Oh
The
no.
culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous.
We have evidence,
I'm used
just
to
not
it, though.
here.
You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most endearing traits.
No need to appeal to pathos.
Ooh.
I won't try to refute your
Silver.
points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person present at both events? On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
Know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations until I'm the only one left on the list. Alas,
Aren't you
who
trying to,
won't
like,
feel
assume
at least
yourself?
a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah well, let Uncle Marcel teach you another lesson.
Ooh.
Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyways.
It's
Darn.
timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's patronage. But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
Oh, that's not good.
I do apologize, demoiselle. This was my mistake.
Darn it, Malus.
No, it's not your fault. I'm sure he had come prepared.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license against the first known case of the serial disappearances? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first time. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
No, I just know it's you.
Seems
It's
like
fine.
she got the wrong guy. At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end of his life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations right now?
Okay, that's just a
He
dig.
wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of dwelling only on your own feelings. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things, you'd have met most of his expectations.
Yo, Marcel, you're just digging at this point. That's not even evidence.
this isn't just about me, and it never has been. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth, while that same agency has long been taken from them. The people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice. Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you in the audience as well. And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher?
Huh.
Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Oh? Did the evidence come in time then? Looks like we were able to figure it out, I guess. But once again, that was just digging. Marcel was just digging at her, so I'm glad she finally fought back. I will say, though, I'm fairly confident this is going to be really long. So I definitely think it might be smart to leave the domain. Oh, I was like, is it going to leave? To leave the domain and do it next time, because if we try to do it right now, it might end up taking the, take over stream, so. We'll wait until next time, or maybe not next time, since next time it'll probably be Lantern Right. But we'll definitely do that the next time we get the chance. Until then, we can. I wanted to show the blade cutting abilities. Hold on, there's one right over here. I just like it because it's really cool how you kind of cut the grass. Okay, let's go down. So with this one, I'm fairly confident you have to cut them all in a row. And if you don't cut them all in time, they all regenerate back, so. Essentially like that. It's pretty simple, it's just really cool to do. And like I said, the underwater areas in Fontaine I think are probably going to be my favorite. It's just so vast and... Oh. Alright, well we'll go unlock that waypoint then. Just the vastness of the ocean, or not the ocean, but the water itself is super amazing. Alright, let's go and unlock this ship real fast then. Well, look at these little... Oh, look at them. They're all, Oh, what's going on? Oh no.
Huh? Isn't that Charlotte?
Well, we just started another cutscene.
Who's her friend, and what are they chatting about?
Darn it. Well, I guess we gotta go through this.
Be pleased with the cherry on top, Charlotte! Journalist extraordinaire! Please tell me you're joking! I read that a gang of criminals tricked the Gardamex by disguising themselves as blubber beasts. It's true, isn't it? It has to be! I've invested all my savings into graph adversarial technology and even taken out a sizable bank loan.
Oh my goodness.
I'm begging you like the beggiest beggar in all of Begdom.
Oh my goodness.
I need you to calm down a little, Miss Lapine, Pauline.
Yeah.
I admire your passion for your research, and I don't mean to dash your hopes for those, big-ticket orders. But I'm afraid I'm not joking. The Blubber Beast incident was a short story mailed to us by an anonymous amateur author, written in the style of a true story.
Interesting? What? So you're telling me that there's a story about Gardamex being dressed up as Blubber Beast? What? What kind of story is that?
It sounds like they're just discussing a story, but why does this Miss Lapine Pauline seem so distressed?
Funnily enough, I actually remember being in a meeting where the editing team was debating the potential risk of misleading the public with this story. They even went to Maison Gardiennage for advice. But to our surprise, they fully supported us printing it. They figured that the false intel would be a great way to dupe potential criminals into wearing ridiculous costumes when breaking the law. In truth, Gardamex are extremely sophisticated in their capabilities. They can identify criminals just as reliably as the best human guards, so a crude disguise isn't gonna get you far. If anything, it'll just make you stand out all the more. Since we ran that story, the Maison Gardiennage has made a slew of arrests, including, one phantom blubberbeast, a titanic red-crowned finch, and a specter man. So I knew the story had helped out law enforcement, but this is the first time I'm learning of an innocent citizen being deceived by it, and investing so much Mora for nothing.
I'm still kind of confused what's going on here.
Uh-oh. She really sounds like she's in pain. Paimon thinks we should just ask Charlotte what's going on. Hey, Charlotte!
Traveler, Paimon, it's you!
Yeah.
I was
can
in
you
the
explain
area
a bit
taking
more?
some photos for a story when I got to talking to Miss Lapine Pauline about her research. She read an article in the Steambird about a criminal who evaded Gardamek detection by disguising themselves as a blubberbeast.
What?
Inspired by
Okay,
this story,
what? That
she
is
spent
weird.
a lot of Mora researching counter-criminal image recognition technology. Her aim was to improve Fontaine's public security by developing a device that could enhance Gardamek's target recognition capabilities. She was hoping I could write an article to spread awareness about image recognition technology. She even paid me for the article and gave me one of her prototype devices before I could get a word in. But unfortunately, it was just a fictional story, and her efforts and aspirations were all in vain. I tried to let her down gently, but she's finding it all very hard to accept.
This is a new situation for us, too.
Yeah,
It's such a pity. It seems like the author was only trying to make the story interesting, and the Maison Gardiennage only had Fontaine's best interest in mind.
Yep. Just a victim of a misunderstanding.
Miss Lapine Pauline!
A very expensive
What are you
one.
doing?
I'm gonna pick a fight with a Gardamek, head to the opera at Biclès, and get a one-way ticket to the Fortress of Meropide.
Huh?
That way, I won't have to repay my debts. It's the only way I can afford to keep on living.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Whoa, there's no need to go that far. I mean, come on, look at you. You wouldn't even dent the Gardamek's armor. In all likelihood, they'd only hold you up at the Maison Gardiennage for a few days before letting you out, and then you'd still have to repay your debts. Actually, instead of going into the technicalities of that, how much did you actually invest? How bad can it really be?
270,000 Mora.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, escaping to the Fortress of Meropide over a sum like that seems like a last resort. Surely there must be other options.
Not anymore. I used to be an
I'm
equipment
just sitting here
supplier
going,
to
maybe
the
that isn't a
Fontaine
bad idea.
Research Institute before that blew to pieces, and now I'm just a small-time engineer. I scraped together some savings over the past few years, but I put every last Mora into this project, and now I'm left with nothing.
Dang.
It's not just my savings that are gone. It's my whole future as a graph adversarial technology specialist and my dreams of becoming a billionaire one day.
Dang, I don't even know what to say.
My life is over.
I don't really blame her.
Don't despair,
That's a
Miss
lot of
Lapine
money.
Pauline. I think I know a way for you to turn this around. This prototype you've given me, the camera lens for image recognition sample collection. It's really quite something. You said you designed it specifically for high-fidelity image capture and analysis, yes? The rapid focal length adjustment is a very useful function in its own right. It's sure to make many journalists' jobs much easier. In fact, I'd say it has the potential to revolutionize Fontaine's news media. So your research efforts thus far are by no means in vain. The technology you've developed may have many applications that you've never even considered.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Really?
If it's a better camera
Absolutely.
lens, I'd use it.
I've been working as a journalist for the Steambird for a long time now. No one understands the issues we journalists face on a day-to-day basis better than me. So keep calm, take heart, and start thinking about mass production. In the meantime, I'll show your invention to all my colleagues to drum up interest in your product.
I can't believe it.
Go Charlotte. She knows what she's
If this
doing.
is true, then I can look into setting up a whole camera lens development pipeline. My big-ticket orders and billionaire aspirations are still in the cards! Oh, maybe I should consider taking out another loan. That way, I can rapidly improve the lens production process, be the first to market, and prepare to battle for dominance in the camera industry.
Come on! Stop daydreaming about your pipelines for a minute. Just take it one step at a time and see how it goes. There's no sense in putting all your eggs in one basket before things are even off the ground.
Yeah, you know how you did last time.
And I can probably speak to some people I know and license my image recognition device to a workshop to raise some funds.
And she's not listening.
I can't believe I didn't think of this sooner.
We tried.
There's no time to lose. I need to get to work. Early bird gets the worm.
Yeah, we tried.
Can you believe her? She just ran off. Paimon's pretty sure our advice went in one ear and out the other.
It's understandable. When inspiration and passion strike at the same time, it's all too easy to throw yourself headfirst into your work and forget about everyone around you. A lot of journalists are the same way when they're first starting out. But don't you worry. I'm gonna write an article on all this, and I'll be checking in on her regularly. Her research has the potential to benefit the entire journalistic community. I'll give her plenty of input to stop her from going down any rabbit holes, and make sure mass production of her lens can begin as soon as possible.
It's reassuring to know that you'll be looking out for her, Charlotte.
Yeah, go Charlotte.
Actually,
that's a lot of work for someone she
you
barely
know what?
knows.
Why don't you two take this prototype lens? I'm sure you'll have plenty of chances to use it on your travels.
Oh?
It takes the right person to get the most out of a new technology. In your hands, it's sure to capture some amazing sights.
That's if I ever take pictures of anything.
Thanks a lot, Charlotte. What a nice surprise. We were just curious about what you guys were talking about. Totally didn't expect to get a free gift out of it.
Sounds
You're
about right.
welcome. I got something out of this too. The beginnings of a very interesting news story. The boundaries between real news reports and news-like fiction must not be blurred, even when there's a compelling justification for doing so. Yes, that's how I'll phrase it to the editors when I give them my feedback. Let's hope we don't mislead any more well-meaning citizens in the future.
Oh, go Charlotte. Special Analysis Zoom Lens. After activating the Special Analysis Zoom Lens through your inventory or gadget shortcut bar, use your camera to use a special photo-taking function. After Charlotte activates this gadget, the original effects of framing, freezing point compositions hold mode cannot take effect, but you can use special methods to take photos. So it's just another photo function. Once again, something that I will probably never use, but it's cool to know we have another camera option, I guess. And before we talk to the Adventurers Guild, I want to unlock the waypoint. Just so we have it for next time. And now we can talk to Catherine.
Add Astro.
Yeah, let's not.
Thank you for complete.
We're not going to start another quest. Let's not do that today. Oh, wrong
Add
button.
Astra.
Claim all, resend. And was there something else? Oh yeah, it was just. Yeah, there you go. I was just making sure we got all of them. Bag. The new camera lens.
Once
Oh yeah.
there was a glorious kingdom.
New version update, new battle pass. Not that it means anything, because I never finished the battle pass ever. And is there anything else? Oh, achievements. I am not saying that. That is not happening. Hear the Oceanids call and connect with their consciousness. Once upon a time in Fleuve Century. Learn about Navia's father at the Spina de Rusula's stronghold. And I think that's it. Yep, okay. And there is new items in the shop, so real fast. No, heck with it. I don't think it matters that much. It's not like I put my card on this account anyways. I will say though, for those who don't know, there are 2 new skins, one for Shenhe and one for Ganyu, so for those who are interested, there are new skins. It doesn't look like we can buy anything with anything, so we'll just buy these. And we don't have enough, because, you know, that figures. Ooh, look, mail. And I think now we have enough. So that's fun. I mean, obviously you know who I'm going to wish on, because her kit just seems so much fun. Let's hope. Come on. Yeah, I saw that one coming. We could get Ga Ming though, so let's see. If we get lucky, come on.
Hey, boss.
Yo.
My name's Gaming. I'm a guard from the communications office. So, all this needs shipping, right? No.
Nope.
You grab a seat and have some tea. I'll get these packed up for you, no problem.
Heck yeah, look at
It'll
that.
only take me a minute,
Oh.
then we can get the delivery scheduled. Oh, and if you
He's
ever want to
still
book
going.
a Wushu dance, me and my crew are available in a heartbeat. The troupe's called the Mighty Mythical Beasts, and I'm the head. Not to brag or anything.
Wow, that was a lot. He just kept talking. But cool, we got Ga Ming. I will gladly take that. Ga Ming's pretty cool. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today. We literally just hit 11 o'clock, so look at that. So yeah, thank you everyone who came out to watch stream today. I really appreciate it. And for those watching this back later, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And hold on, gosh dang it, I keep clicking off it. There you go. And yeah, hope to see everyone on Friday for our next stream. I think next Friday should be okay. I'm just thinking. Oh, that's what it is. I'll mention it again on Friday's stream, but Friday's stream is going to be cut a bit short. I have something to do afterwards, or not afterwards, but basically right in the middle of the stream, so we'll stream for like probably half the time and then get off, but
Toodaloo.
we'll have like Penacony to explore, so that'll be a new fun update we can go through. But yeah, I hope to see everyone on Friday. I hope everyone has a fantastic